All right, manhunt. In the strangest possible meaning of the word. As in, Lwaxana Troy is hunting for a man to replace her dead husband. Yeah, like I said, strange. Anyways, though, so the episode's initial scene gives you what is presumably intended as the A plot of the episode, or at least that's how it looks when you first see it. You have a diplomatic delegation that the Enterprise is going to be transporting to a diplomatic negotiation for some sort of treaty conference. Which, as an A plot, hey, you know, why not? And honestly, for TTRPG, that's actually a pretty good plot seed. It's like, Starfleet Command is giving your ship a mission to do this. And this happens to be transporting diplomats to negotiations. Seems easy enough. So what's the problem? Of course there's a problem. Well, the Antedians aren't fond of warp travel and decide to sleep the entire time. Why the Antedians decide they would rather be catatonic the entire time, I don't know. This is actually one of those things that's not fully explained to my own. It's just that Antedians are weird fish people and doing weird fish people things. And because they are in a catatonic state, while the Antedians get talked about several times in the episode, we don't get to see the Antedians doing anything for most of the episode. Instead, we have Lwaxana Troy doing that thing I mentioned earlier. She's really trying to get Picard for some reason. Don't know why, but she is. And then later tries talking Riker into marrying her for whatever reason. The main plot is actually trying to get Lwaxana Troy to be something remotely close to happy without giving her what she actually claims to want. Which, yeah, that got weird. Seriously. The Lwaxana Troy stories usually end up going in strange directions because of the way that the Lwaxana Troy character is written. However, on a side note, this texture for this kind of material they use for the dress, I'm hesitant to call it cloth because it looks like one of those like 70s or 80s era printed patterns where they were using some sort of printing pressed color fabric. Or, well, sometimes it's actually not even real fabric. It's like some sort of like plastic material that is thin sheets that aren't really cloth. Anyway, so it really looks like a very cool thing. Exactly the sort of thing I would expect people to wear in a sci-fi futuristic setting if they want to look snazzy without wearing a ridiculous corsage instead of clothing. Anyways, though. And that's actually like the majority of the plot here, is that Lwaxana is getting old, and that causes weird mental instability in Betazoids. Presumably half Betazoids have this issue to a lesser degree, but even so, we're dealing with Lwaxana here, and Lwaxana is going full bore on the Enterprise D because reasons, and that's the main focus of the plot. Oh, also, we eventually find out that the Antedians were actually trying to explode the peace conference for whatever reason. No, we don't find out why, just that they were. It is, however, easy to verify that they did in fact sneak an ultritium bomb onto the Enterprise. In several other episodes, they mention things like transporter safeguards, where the transporter can edit the transporter pattern to not materialize everything that it beamed up if the computer has analyzed the transporter pattern and deemed something to be unsafe within the transporter pattern. Yeah, so how did they get this the ultritium through the transporter? I know I'm asking too many questions. However, if you're doing a TTRPG, your players will ask. Maybe, maybe not. You never know. And that's the part that makes it fun, is that players will ask whatever those specific players think of, and some of the things that those specific players think of are off the wall and kind of batshit. But hey, that's part of what makes it fun. Is what TTRPGs can do that a computer game usually can't, is allowing you to make up new options that you didn't even think of before. Anyways, so that's honestly the entire focus of the plot. This is one of those where it's a very simple plot that's straightforward after you strip out all of the Lwaxana being weird stuff. You know, because that took up like half the episode, Lwaxana being weird. And I'm not saying it's bad. I am, however, saying that you would probably want to do it differently if you're doing a TTRPG. At any rate, figuring out the exact specifics of that, Oh, that's another thing about this that I forgot to mention earlier. This is one of the Dixon Hill episodes, so a lot of the Lwaxana being weird thing is actually Lwaxana dealing with holograms where she can't read their minds. Yeah, that made things fun. Anyways, though, uh, that is an interesting thing to do with telepathic characters, though, is like, oh yeah, by the way, it's a hologram. Yep, can't read that hologram's mind. Anyways, that's enough for this one, I think.